Welcome back everyone to the Railroad Challenge. And as I look at this block here and see the white, grayish, and red, I can't help but thinking about a block of Neapolitan ice cream. Now the trouble is, of course, Neapolitan ice cream, the middle would be brown instead. Well, I've seen them come in different colors, but the idea is that the third color would be brown instead of gray. So I thought maybe if we have this here, I like it. I think that's where I'm going to go. Treat it as a little bit of a Neapolitan ice cream affair. And I think that would be a really nice look on it. Good. I think that will look a lot better. Ah, that looks much, much better in my eyes. So that's what we'll go with for that. And of course, we will take that until we have the smooth stone transition and then go for a regular corridor the rest of the way down. Now, currently, this only goes 3 wide down to a certain point, and we want to change that, so I need to dig out the rest of this corridor until we get down to the swamp. And that'll take me a little bit of time in order to get all the way through there. There you go. I have cut all the way down to the exit. I'll have to smooth out the exit so that we have a nice entrance/exit when we come through here. But otherwise, I think this all works. Good. Now, I did run across a couple of places where we have some tunnel caves all around. I found a very, very extensive cave system. I explored it quite a bit between the clips, and I found a stack and a half of iron, which is pretty good because I'm definitely going to need some new armor. The last of my armor was blown up by that little excursion. And maybe I could make some of it out of diamond, but I don't have enough diamonds in which to make a full set of it. But I could probably get some pieces of iron in there and call it done. I now have a stack and a half of iron. Well, okay, 2 stacks of iron. And a stack of gold. I've got a little bit more ore that can still be processed. So I should have enough to do my rail lines going in here. I've already started dropping some of the rails just to get an idea of where my transitions points are going to be, because if you recall, I wanted this transition point to be at the next location here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, because here I did it to 8, but actually that means I could just do everything more precisely here. So that means that the second one of these, that means this one right here, is where I am going to have my smooth stone, and I could use that to dictate everything else that I've got here. Do I have some smooth stone on me? Yes, I do. Good, and everything else then is going to just follow over what I did here. That means up to that point I will have the Neapolitan look, and then after that I'll go back to the stone look, which probably means I'm going to have to make myself a little bit of additional stone, so I'll just start that going. There you go, much better. And that continues all the way down until we hit the swamp, which is the real nasty bit out there. I think this came out better and more quickly than I had expected, so maybe I should do the entrance now, since that could be the main thing that we do then. Alright, there you go. Let's carve this out a little bit. Now, this right here is supposed to be where we're going to have our Yes, that's going to be a powered rail right there. Do I have a... Right, okay, there's power. So I'll put a redstone torch right here because that's where we're going to have our powered rail, which means I'd want the entrance to be... How about right here? And the reason I'd want it to be there is that means that 2 away then is where we could have our first post. Actually, let me go out a few here. You don't want to get too far down along because that's going to encroach into the swamp, and I don't want to do anything with the swamp just now. That will be for next episode. There you go. So we'll have here, and that means we will want the smooth stone for this section right here because it's another place where we want smooth stone there, then we want stone again after that. Dope. That's not where, because we'd want smooth stone right. We get some smooth stone. After thinking about it and after having put in the smooth stone, that's not really what I want here because after this point right here, I would go 1, 2, 3, 4, have a transition going into the exit material, such as what I did on the other side. So 1, 2, 3. Now on the other end, I had cut sandstone right here. So over here what I'll put in is some diorite. And then after that, I'll have some polished diorite. Or maybe I should do it the other way around. Let me see how this looks. Actually, because that looks a little bit rougher, maybe. So, well, actually, I would say the general wall probably should be the diorite, and that the... Yeah, because we got smooth sandstone there, so therefore I would say polished diorite makes more sense. So let's reverse what I was just thinking about doing. We will put the polished diorite here, and then the regular diorite in the places after that. Good, now this right here obviously won't be what we had before, but instead we'll just continue on with the diorite. Or how about just another layer of polished here might be, so we just go in and out. Well, I didn't mean to do that. How about adding another polished layer so we have theirs alternating there. Then we want to go 2 more out. Then after that we will have our true... Actually, this is about where we'll be starting the exit now I think of it. So let's do 2 layers of polished. And this could be our exit to the system. Like that. Well, that doesn't look very good. Doesn't look very impressive when the exit is covered up by dirt or something like that. Good. Just drop that down. There is a zombie around there somewhere. There you go. I have to have some sort of decoration for that, I presume. Good. There is our little entrance into there. Boom, boom. And then we go into our regular area. I guess I have to do this side also. I think I could use some stairs in order to improve this a little bit. I want to see if I have any stairs at base, and if not, I've got a stone cutter there, and it's about time to give that thing a whirl, because that's one of the new items that they have just added to the game. The nice thing about the stone cutter is that if you put a block in here, you can get, for one block of diorite, you can get one stair. So therefore, you don't have any loss, because if you do it through here, for every 6, you get 4. So you lose 2/3 of it. So this is much more efficient in doing the cutting. So it doesn't completely replace this thing, because obviously this is more flexible and all, but this has the advantage of being specialized and being able to do things more efficiently. Now, the question is, do I really want to use this? Because when I came up here, I suddenly thought, what if instead of diorite there, of course, we need to worry about the top there, the roof that we're going to have continuing on from there. Because currently we're using sandstone, but that's no longer going to be appropriate to where we're going. And most likely I'll be switching over to oak on the other side. So I really should be worrying about having oak there, and then oak fences, oak stairways, and quite a bit of oak going all the way around here. And that's what I should be using for this particular section down there. And if I do that, then that means doing anything funny with the diorite. Maybe, actually, let's have 3 stairs. So I'll put in 3 pieces of polished diorite, and let's get rid of this stupid seed. So we put in 3 pieces of polished diorite, 1, 2, 3, and that should be able to give us 3 stairs, right? Yeah. Good. But on top of that, I am going to need quite a bit of oak. Aha! I'm going to need a bit more of it, I think. What we'll do here is place this block here, remove these 3, and that will leave us with, so if we do this right, we exit like that. Maybe I should have made 5 instead. Perhaps I should have made 5 instead. Well, I could take care of that later. Maybe actually wrap that around and have an extra one there. Yeah. Alright. Then what that'll do is that will lead us naturally into the oak slabs, and then we could use oak slabs then from here on out. This will become our major topper as we are heading along in this stretch. And the reason I'm using oak is because when you're going through a swamp, what do you have? Oak. More oak. And even more oak, and one of the rules to this little thing is that we are supposed to use local materials, reasonably local materials, and in this area, nothing's more local than oak. This will of course mean oak fences, and oak gates. Let's just plop this one here, plop this one here. We'll worry about the rest of it later. And that means 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Yeah, oh yeah, there are the rest of the fences. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we go along all the way down in that direction eventually. Our usual double torches for hitting the side there, but the bulk of what we are going to be doing here Oh yeah. I suppose I am going to have to add one more pair of fences there just to have a place to put the torches. Good. But the rest of it is going to be when we actually get seriously into it and start building our causeway. So it looks like it looks well, certainly can't have a tree there. But it looks like we don't have much water in this, but we have to be coming out just at a location that's going to have a minimum amount of water at the start. I'm sure after we cross here, we are going to see how close I could stay to 0 on this. And right here, across and down. So far, it's a lot on land until we get right to this, but this is the point where we hit into the serious parts of the swamp. And we're still 80 blocks from the terminal. I forgot, was the terminal? Actually, I think the terminal's on solid land, which is good. Clay. Clay. That's another local material, clay. I don't think I've got enough to do anything significant with brick or anything like that in this area. So what I'll do is I'll use clay to build a brick terminal. So I'll make the first terminal brick so at least it looks like some sort of contrast from the otherwise probably going to get monotonous oak that we've got here, because what do you have here? Oak and clay. In going through all this, I had forgotten that I actually have posts going all the way through. I don't know how I missed that little detail, but we could amend that now. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we can finish this thing up. I had just enough to do that job. And coming out here, added a few extra stairs on there, and I think that came out quite well. So that's our entrance, and that then feeds into our oak area that's going to lead us into our swamp, which is what we're going to work on next month. Good. Very nice. And that, I believe, is it for this particular section. Now, this looks like a nice, dangerous area. Let's see. Ah, these are the areas that... These are all those entrances to the cave system that I was talking about earlier, where I went down, got lost, and found a bunch of iron and gold. So it's good to see that I do still have a means in order to get here when I need it, because I am going to be having to get in and out all throughout there. Now, I have to make sure, though, that nothing can get into... I don't think anything can get into... I'm wondering if a baby zombie could give us a bad day. I'll have to think on that at some point, but I have a feeling a baby zombie can't do too much if we're flying down on a car. Well, we'll have to see on that matter. But I think that's it for today's episode and for the January part. In the next episode, we are going to start out on our trip down into the swamp when we return to the Railroad Challenge.